Hi guys, Debbie here. Welcome to my channel or welcome back. Today is a chatty get ready with me and it's to create this little look here, which I don't normally come on camera at the beginning to introduce the video wearing the look that I've achieved in the get ready with me, but I think I might change that up. I think it might be nice for you to see what the look is going to be and then see me create it. So you'll have to let me know down in the comments whether you like that better, but just fancy doing that for this one. And today is quite exciting. I've got some new products and some older ones to show you. Specifically newer things, I've got this, which is the Star Wars Mandalorian The Child palette from ColourPop. I'm wearing my child t-shirt as well, which I got from Primark. You can't see it because I'm sat down, but hopefully I'm in the spirit at least. I've also got a blush from Hourglass. I picked up Sublime Flush. I'm going to be showing you that in action. But mostly everything else is older makeup, and I'm just going to be having a little chat with you. We're just going to hang out and it'll be a nice time. So if you're interested to see me create this look and just spend a bit of makeup time with me, hear about the plans I've got for my no-buy for next year. Yes, shock horror, I'm going to go on a no-buy. Then please keep on watching. Okay guys, so I've zoomed you in a little bit. I've got no makeup on my face whatsoever. That might be a bit of a scary thing to see so close up. But I'm going to be applying everything on camera today. All I've done off camera is just a bit of moisturiser. And I've mentioned this product before. It's the only product I use in skincare really. But I've been using the LMS Pro Collagen Cream, the Marine Cream. It's very expensive, but I think it's pretty good, and I just love the way my skin feels after I've used it. Super hydrating, and I think it is making a little bit of a difference to my not so small fine lines anymore. So it's high time I got into a bit of skincare, I think. So yeah, I've done that, but nothing else, and we're going to do makeup together. Now for my base, I'm going to go in with a bit of an old favourite combo, and none of these are new. So I've got the Giorgio Armani Luminous Silk Foundation, mine's in 05, and the Born This Way Multi-Use Sculpting Concealer from Too Faced, and that's in the shade Snow. These have been my go-to if I ever do my base off camera, which I quite often do because I normally just do eyeshadow on camera. This is one of the things that I've been loving just lately. I always thought of saving this foundation for, I don't know, special occasions because it's expensive, but there is no special occasions these days and not going anywhere, so I decided to use it before it expires, so that's what we're going to do. My favourite way to apply this foundation is with this brush by Morphe Jacqueline Hill. It's a kabuki, but it's not a flat top, it's sort of a bit more rounded than a flat top, and this one's the JH03. I do sometimes these days use a sponge, but I think I like the finish of a brush a bit better. But I kind of these days have been pouncing my foundation in rather than kind of going round and round like buffing it in. I've been pouncing it in a bit first to kind of get myself a bit more of a natural coverage to it. And this foundation is sort of medium coverage anyway, which is my preference for foundation. Whenever I can see this one with any sort of deals, this is the one I want to get. And I buy mine from Debenhams in the UK. They often have, and they do at the moment, I think, 15% off beauty. So I watch all of these videos for like the recommended Sephora sales, and they seem to have 10% up to 20% off. Debenhams in the UK, guys, you're missing out if you're in the States, because Debenhams have between 10 and 15% off of beauty pretty much all the time. You don't have to be a member of anything, and it's a really good place to buy makeup. They don't have all the brands that Sephora do, of course, but I do get quite a lot of my makeup from them. They also do have a beauty club card thing, and often if you buy £50 of makeup you get 10% in points back to buy more makeup, which is probably not a good thing for me because I've got way too much makeup as it is and I don't really need too much more. Alright, that's the base done. But then I'll always want to conceal my freckles that everyone else is drawing on, but I hate my freckles, so they need to go, and just a bit under my eyes here as well. Blend that in with my Real Techniques brush. I love these brushes by Real Techniques. These are another brush that, I mean, people used to talk about Real Techniques brushes all the time on YouTube, but I feel like they don't so much anymore. Everybody talks about the expensive brushes like Refa these days, and I don't have the budget for Refa, and I'm not going to be going down that route of buying expensive brushes like that, so I find these pretty good. And at Christmas time you can get some amazing deals on their brush sets that they put together for Christmas. And I think that's got me enough coverage where I want it. Looking like a ghost, of course, because without my brows, I think, and without my contour, I do look a bit strange, but I'll bring some warmth back to my face. Alright, brows next. I always use the same product for brows. It's pretty boring really, but I use the Hallberg Infinity palette. Mine's super grubby. You can see how much love this product is getting from me. For somebody with so much makeup to pan something like this, you can tell how much I love it. It's just the perfect shade for brows for me. And I do mix in some of the black as well, the Fornax shade. And I'm not the best at brows, but this is how I do it. I just use a angled brow brush, just fill in the front, and then try to create myself a little bit of a arch shape, because that's what I like my brows to be. I don't like this sort of straight up brow. But you do you. I think it's definitely a personal preference thing for brows. I don't mind seeing all different types of brows. I love seeing people do the soap brows. I haven't ever tried it, but I think they look cool. But this just works for me, I think, and it's become my go-to way to do it. So how have you guys been? What have you been up to? It's strange times again in the UK. It's we're back into a lockdown, kind of. Lockdown version 2.0. So when we were locked down before, we were totally locked down and you couldn't go anywhere apart from exercise for an hour a day and food shopping, and schools were shut and pretty much everyone stayed at home. This time, if you can work from home you have to, but otherwise you still can go to work, and schools are open, but non-essential shops are closed, so clothes shops and gift shops and whatever else is non-essential that doesn't sell food. But there are a few shops still open, so the likes of Boots, which is a chemist, pharmacy kind of shop, will still be open. Our Superdrug that sells makeup is actually still open. I'm not sure if you can buy the makeup because I think you can only buy essential goods. I've not been out shopping at all since Lockdown 2.0 started, which it started on last Thursday. Today is Tuesday when I'm filming this, and it's going to end potentially on the 2nd of December. So there's no restaurants open, no bars, pubs, anything like that for the next month. Not that I've been going anywhere in any case, but it just feels like, I don't know, our rates are going up in terms of like numbers of infections and whatnot, and we're kind of going backwards rather than forwards, which is a little bit mentally hard to deal with. Like with Christmas coming up, I just so much wanted us to be back to some semblance of normality, but at the moment you can meet one person outside of your house and you still have to maintain social distance. Obviously you can go food shopping, you can exercise as much as you want, so there's no limit on that. I've been going out and doing a couple of hours walking a day because that's really important to me to do that, because not going anywhere and working from home, if I don't get out the house for that walk I start to go a bit stir crazy. I think the hardest bit for me is just not knowing when it's all gonna kind of end, and like with Christmas, if we don't get out of this lockdown, because there's no guarantee, we don't know what Christmas is going to look like, we'll have the enviable decision, or unenviable, of deciding whether we prioritise seeing my mum or my husband's dad, because they both live on their own. But you can form a social bubble if you live on your own with one family. So I don't think we can bubble with both of them, like separately. So, and his dad lives in the Isle of Wight, and I'll be super sad if we don't get to see him over Christmas. We always like having him over, but I have to prioritise my mum. She's my mum, and I just can't leave her on her own at Christmas. And I want to see her, of course. So I think that's what we'll be doing. We'll be having my mum. She can't do stairs very well, and we have a 3-storey house, so she won't be staying for very long. She'll probably stay for a couple of days because it is a struggle for her. But yeah, that's what we're going to be doing. So it'll just be me and my husband and my mum, I think, for the 2 kind of major days of Christmas, like Christmas Day and Boxing Day, and the rest of it I think we'll be on our own this year. But we will see how it goes, I guess. Right, so that's my brows done, and it's not a bad brows day today. Sometimes they go better than others. We do have, for later in the video, this to play with. Super cute. It's the Star Wars Mandalorian The Child palette, of course. And I've got my Mandalorian t-shirt on, which I can't get into frame, but bought that in Primark just before the lockdown. Primark hasn't got a website, and so when the shop closes, it's kind of closed down. But it's our kind of cheap go-to place for, I don't know, disposable fashion, I suppose you might call it. Don't go there too often, but I saw this t-shirt and it's just adorable, so I just had to have it. So, right, next, what do we want next? Going in with some contour next, I think. So my go-to for contour just lately has been this, which is the Kaleidos Charisma Contour Palette in Cool and Light. I got sent all 3 of those in PR, and this one at the moment is my colour. I think I'd wear the warmer one more so in the summer, but this one at the moment, as I'm super pale, is the right shade for me. I'm going to use my Extreme Structure Contour FO4 by Sigma for this today, because I'm going to use some bronzer as well, so I just want to get the contour quite kind of structured where I want it. And I always try and keep my contour quite high, so it's just more like it doesn't come any further than, like, if you take the angle of my eye and downwards. I've probably gone a bit lower than I even wanted to there. It's easy to get carried away. This brush is quite dense for contour, and it will lay quite a lot of product, but it keeps it very much where you've put it. I use different contour brushes depending on kind of the effect I'm looking for. I've been loving this product. I think it's one of the best products that Kaleidos has brought out. And I love their eyeshadows, of course, but I just like seeing them diversify a bit into face products. I think their new highlight, which I should be receiving in PR, they did contact me to say that that is coming. The one that's got the multi-chrome in it and the new reformulated Mars Melter, they are on their way to me. I think they get released today or maybe even yesterday as I'm filming this, so they're already available to buy, and it would have been nice to have been able to show you before that, but I have seen some reviews on there. It looks super nice. As soon as I get it I will show you. Alright, I'm going to need to blend that out a little bit. Before I do that, actually, I'm just going to do my nose contour. I use this middle shade here as nose contour, and I think it works really well for that. What I use for that just lately is the Morphe E14 brush. It's one of their Elite range brushes, which are my favourite from them. It's an eyeshadow brush, I think, but I mean, against my eyes it'll literally cover my whole eye. But I use it just as a nose contour brush. And I just take a little bit and then bring it up sort of to meet my brows as well there. I don't always do this step, but makes it look super snatched. A little bit under my nose and a bit under my lip as well, just helps to give a bit of shape. For bronzer today, I'm going to go with this number 7 bronzer. I bought it to do a video of like testing number 7. I never got around to doing the video. I probably will at some point, but I'm dying to use this, so we're going to use it today. It's in Golden Sand and the packaging looks super nice. It's kind of reminiscent of the Charlotte Tilbury bronzer, like the shape in the pan. Don't know what the colour's going to be like on me because we're in lockdown. I bought it in Boots. Well, not in lockdown, but you know, in the situation we're in, there's no testers, so I just asked the girl at the counter which one do you think would be right for me, and she said she thought this shade, so we will see if she was right. Just realised I've forgotten to powder. I always forget a little step and my concealer is creasing. So we're just going to go in with some powder. Favourite powder of all time is this one, the Translucent Glow Powder by Laura Mercier. Just put a bit into the cap and then smush it into my brush and then just pretty much just put it under my eyes. I don't like my nose to be unset because I do have a bit of an oily T-zone, so I'll set that as well, but it gives it a glow rather than looking like oils going through. It does set my makeup down. I've also been loving this Ambient Lighting Edit Unlocked palette. There's a powder in here which when I first tried it I was like, I don't know if it's doing anything, but this one here, this setting powder, it just kind of gives you that lit from within glow all over your skin. It's really beautiful. So I'm just going to use that same brush again and just finish with a bit of that just everywhere, just as I say, just give my skin a little bit of a glow. It just really like blurs your imperfections a bit, I think. It's really, really nice. I'm loving the Hourglass products I've tried so far. Alright, so let's go in with this bronzer. And I just want a really light covering of the bronzer. Just pretty much over where I put that contour. This is a very good colour for me and very natural actually. I like that a lot. My problem with bronzers on me is that I often find that they just make my face look kind of dirty, you know, because I'm so pale, so I need one that's kind of buildable. So I love the Hoola Light for that. I'm trying to think, I don't mind the Fenty one, the Shady Beers I've got for that one, but I have to go in super light-handed with that. But this is buildable. This is one I've dipped in a few times and it's building nicely. It's kind of blending out that contour really nicely so it doesn't look quite so harsh. Yeah, really, really like that. We've got a new blush to try today. This one is Sublime Flush by Hourglass. And that's what it looks like. So a pinky blush, but it's got a little bit of a lilac in it. I'll just show you super close. It's really, really pretty. But Hourglass were doing their Black Friday sale, but in October, and everything was 20% off on the Hourglass website, UK website. So I got this one and I got the At Night blush as well. I'll just get that and show you. So this is the At Night blush, which looks absolutely beautiful. This is the one I wanted most, but I decided to get two as there was a bit of money off of them. But I think for today's look and what I've got in mind, I think the lighter one will look better. So I'm just gonna flush up my cheeks a little bit with that, but nothing too crazy. I do normally go in quite heavy with blush. But again, I like these Hourglass blushes because they're buildable, so you don't just plonk a bit of blush down and think, oh, what am I going to do? I can't blend that out. You know, you can go in several times and build it up, and I think that's a positive for blush for sure. I do like a pigmented blush, but sometimes I have gone too far with that, and then it's difficult to bring it back. So these are a lot more user friendly, and it is building up to quite a beautiful pink, I think, there, but quite a subtle blush. And I blush my nose a little bit, don't do that very often. I think it can look super cute though. Yeah, really, really love the colour on that, it's gorgeous. Hourglass have some amazing products, and I think for me just lately it's been all about buying things that are perhaps a little bit more expensive but fewer but nicer things. I think I've heard a few people say that as a terminology, you know, getting the things that really speak to you and not buying everything. That's what I've been trying to do just lately. So going in with an older highlight, but I love this. This is ColourPop's Flexitarian, one of their Super Shock highlights. And love the Kaleidos H1 brush to apply that. Wow, that's a little bit more highlighty than perhaps I want it to be. That's what I wanted on that cheek really. This one I need to blend out a fair bit. It's a super blinding highlight, but they do blend in and then just leave you with a wet look to the skin, so you just have to work it in. But really, really nice formula from ColourPop. I'm getting really impressed with ColourPop. I was late to the party, but I'm really enjoying ColourPop's products now. So Kaleidos have got 3 new brushes coming out. They've got a new highlight brush and a contour brush. Can't remember what the other one is, but I'm getting those 3 as well. Can't wait to get them because I love the Kaleidos brushes. They're some of my favourites in my collection. They're so well made, so inexpensive. And they have their Black Friday event, which I think is going on now actually. I'm going to buy another set of the eye brushes because they're only $19 in any case. They're such a good buy. Okay, here's an eyeshadow base. I'm going in with MAC's Painterly Paint Pot, one of my favourites. It's a classic. And I'm just going to do an eye look today that's very simple. Don't want to do any cut creasiness or anything. I just want to do something pretty with those shades in the Mandalorian palette. I was super happy to get that because I've missed out on a lot of the releases where there's a hype and there's a scramble to get them. But that one was really easy to get hold of, I thought. Like, even like a couple of hours after the launch, there was still some available because I did go back to check, but I was on the site the minute it launched. But yeah, super easy to get. Wasn't going to get it, but my husband is a massive Star Wars fan and he was like, you've got to get that one. We don't watch The Mandalorian because we don't want to get another subscription service. It's only available on Disney+. We've got Now TV, which gives you the Sky channels. We've got Amazon Prime and we've got Netflix. And if I watch more than an hour of TV a week, it's as much probably these days. So yeah, we decided not to go with that. But I have been watching The Sinner. I'm loving that show. I'm on the 3rd series of that, and yeah, it's one of these that just really keeps you enthralled and guessing. Because I think when I watch TV, what I tend to do is have like my phone there and I'm kind of doing other things and kind of the TV's on in the background and I lose the plot. But with this, you can't. You just literally got to be watching it, and it takes me away from thinking about other things, you know, and I've been really enjoying it. Right, we're going in with this then. I think the artwork on this packaging is what drew me in. It's just adorable. So my relationship with Star Wars is that I saw the original movie. It came out in 1977 and I was 9. I think by the time it hit our cinema in Northampton, it was about a year later. So I was 10 and I'd not really been to the cinema. It wasn't a thing that you did in the UK all the time. It was like a treat thing for your birthday or whatever. But there was so much hype around this movie. And we didn't have multiplexes back then or anything like that. That came later. And so we had this cinema. It used to be called the Savoy many years before that, and then it was the ABC. And I'll pop up a picture of it actually because it's the cutest cinema ever, and it still exists. It's been kind of renovated several times for different purposes, but it had the A cinema, the big cinema, had like a Wurlitzer organ that came up through the orchestra pit, and it was just such a treat to go there. And I went to see Star Wars and the queue to see it was just massive all the way around the block, and I just remember being enthralled by it. I saw the movie and I just loved all of the characters that were in it, and particularly Princess Leia and her buns on the side of her head. And I used to collect all they used to do like these little cigarette cards that you could like put into a sticker book, and there was such a thing to try and get the Princess Leia one, and it seemed to be quite rare and I couldn't get it, and then I couldn't get the R2-D2 one, and somewhere, I think Mum probably still will have it because Mum keeps everything, will be my sticker book with all these in from all those years ago. So I saw the first one, which is the 4th in the series, of course, and we've gone back and watched the first 3 in the series as such. So we've seen the 6th one, but we haven't seen the others, or I haven't. And I just kind of lost my love for movies, really. I haven't watched movies in such a long time. So I need to get that back and start making the time for it, because I really do love film. But I wouldn't say I was the biggest Star Wars fan ever. I just enjoy the movies, but I'm not like people get fanatical about these things, don't they? I'm really into them. I like the movies, but I'm not like a super fan or anything like that. But if I could watch The Mandalorian, I would, because it looks like it's cute. Okay, so you will have seen the colour story. I'll just pull it up close so you can really see. But today I want to do something quite deep in the outer V and on the lower lash line with that Droid Protocol shade. Right Hand Mando, that one at the top, looks beautiful. I don't know, I'm just going to play really and just create an eye look using this palette. But I do love the mix of shades in here. I thought I wouldn't have just bought it if it was just to do with the Mandalorian, but it wasn't a good colour story, because what's the point in that? I want to be able to use it. But I love green eyeshadow, but I also love the fact that you've got some just neutrals in there for everyday looks. I just think it's a really well created colour story. It's a lot smaller than I expected though. When you see it on camera and you see people showing it, it looks bigger than it is. To give you an idea, that's the Charisma Contour palette, which is almost as big. So yeah, it's tiny. I'm going to go in with the shade Babyface first and just use that as a transition. Don't normally set my base, but I think I'm going to do that today. I love that that's kind of a minty shade. I think it's going to look super light over that primer, which it does. Just taking a dusting of that in my crease just to start the look off really. And while I'm doing the eye look, I'm just going to talk to you about the plans for my makeup purchases and kind of where I see my channel going in the future. So I definitely am going to start buying a lot less makeup, or probably even go on a complete no buy for 2021. There's a number of reasons why. I think I've got a bit of makeup fatigue. I buy so much and nothing is exciting me really. I mean, I want the Melt Beetlejuice collection because that is really exciting. The way it's been put together, the colour story, the packaging, everything about it, like, has my heart. But a lot of things just are looking the same to me, or I've got very similar in my collection. But also, I think I must have at least 20 palettes that I scrambled to buy so that I could make a YouTube video, and then didn't have the time or the energy to film with them in a timely fashion, and then by then they're kind of old and no one wants to see them. So I think I just need to stop doing that and catch up with the things that I've bought. So you're going to be seeing a lot of older palettes on my channel. I'm almost 100% sure that I want to go on a complete no buy, at least for probably 10 months of the year next year. Probably when it gets to Black Friday time of year, I'll probably treat myself to anything I feel like I've missed out during the year. But I really want to just catch up and find my love for the creativity of makeup and not just buying everything, you know. I see a lot of comments, people in the same position as me, where they're saying they've got so much and they feel overwhelmed with how much they've got. Makeup should be something that's fun and that we should be enjoying picking it up. I'm going to use Float Your Crib now just to create a bit more depth. And I'm going in with an E25 blending brush by Sigma and just turning it on its side so I can get a bit more deeper in the crease there. As I say, nothing complicated. I just wanted to really just play with this palette and just have a chat to you on camera really. So yeah, I've got a lot of exciting things still to show you. I've bought the I Heart Revolution Princess palettes. I've got all 3 of those, or my husband bought them for me for our wedding anniversary, early present, because it's not till the end of November, but he treated me to those. And I've bought the Pat McGrath Celestial Quads and the older quads from last year. I bought all the Odin's Eye palettes and never got a chance to use those on camera. I've got the Pinky Rose trio of palettes, never used those on camera. You see a bit of a trend developing here. And then yesterday, Beauty Bay were doing 30% off of the Book of Spells palette, and I was like, do I buy it? And I was like, no, this is silly. You missed the boat to do any sort of reviews on it. You're not even particularly keen on it. You're just buying it because it's reduced, and I do that a lot. And so this time of the year is difficult for me because I love a bargain, so if I see anything I do get excited. But I've got some palettes that I haven't received. Just going to take this same shade on my lower lash line as well. Got some that I haven't received yet. The Shroud being its Freaking Bats palette, which I don't think will probably come into next year because I wasn't in the original kind of purchasing for that. But whenever that comes, that will be coming my way. I've got, I'm trying to think what else. Yeah, I've also got the Peachy Queen Spirit Board palette. I talked about that when I did a review of the We're All Mad Here palette, saying I wanted to get it, and they had 44% off of it. I was like, no, can't not get that now because I really, really wanted it. And that, I think, was a good purchase because it's something I had my eye on. It's gone down in the sale and managed to pick it up. So that makes sense. That's more of the sort of purchases I want to do. Something that I've thought about and considered and that I really, really want, rather than just picking up all the new that you're then kind of like is yesterday's news by next week anyway, and you bought it just to review it, you know, because I haven't got unlimited funds and we're trying to do other things. I want to get my house done up where we've done 2 rooms and we want to get the wood flooring done in our lounge, which is going to be about £2,000. So makeup's got to go for a while to make way for other things that we want to do in life. But it doesn't mean that I can't still enjoy and play with makeup and be creative on my channel. So it's just going to be a different kind of content. I've never set myself up as a review channel in any case. I'm going in with Droid Protocol, so the brown in the palette here. And I'm going to use Linda Hallberg 303 and just build up some intensity in the outer corner. ColourPop shadows really impress me. I don't know how they can do it for the price. I mean, you're not getting much product, that's the only thing. I think that's how they do it for the price because they're absolutely tiny. But that's okay because, as I say, when you've got a lot of makeup, never going to get through it anyway. I'd rather have smaller pan sizes like this. And a small curated colour story of a 9-pan palette is kind of the best in my opinion. Yeah, I love that colour, that's really pretty. I'm just going to just drag it slightly through my crease, but I don't want to go too ham with that. Yeah, so I've got lots of things to show you that you've not seen, so it's not going to be boring, I hope. Well, I think a lot of it will be in a get ready with me style like this, where I just chat to you because it's what I enjoy making the most. And if I'm doing it as a hobby, which I am, I'm not looking to grow my channel particularly large. It's always nice when new people join me, but it's not what I'm in it for. I was in it for the love of makeup and meeting new people, so I can still do that with the things I have. I've got a lot of makeup. Right, so I'm going in with NYX glitter primer. What else? I have to use that at some point in a makeup look. And I always use my crown brush if I can because it was a cheap brush and I don't want to ruin it with a glitter primer. But honestly, I've never really ruined a brush with glitter primer because I always wash them the minute I've finished a video. And I'm just pretty much just applying that in the area where there's no shadow and just overlapping that brown shade. Not in any sort of precise, creasy kind of way. I really want to use that shade, The Force. It's got a bit of a duochrome green to brown and it's really, really pretty. So I'm going to use that one next to the brown. And then, yeah, probably the right hand Mando next to it. So these two, I think. Well, that one's a little bit tricky to pick up. It's one of those flaky sort of shimmers. And it's definitely pretty. And over glitter glue it's laying down fine. It's not like those Beauty Bay glittery shimmers that I'm not enjoying in the Nikki Tutorials palette. I really don't like the shimmers in that for the amount of glitter fallout. This hasn't got glitter fallout, but it is kind of flaky to pick up on the brush. That's still really, really pretty. I'm just going to flip the brush over and just go into this shade, which is a lot more creamy. Oh, wow. Yes, that one's nice. Oh, I love that. This palette's bomb, guys. If you haven't picked it up and you have any interest in doing so, and I'm certainly not trying to persuade you to buy makeup, but if you had any thoughts about whether you thought the quality would be good or not, it is really, really good. I think it's better than the Disney Villains one, which is the only other one that I've got from ColourPop. I just want to make sure I've blended these shimmers in, because as I say, I don't want it to be a cut crease, I want it more of a blended kind of look. So I'm just taking a little bit of that Baby Face, which was the original transition shade, and I'd already got a bit of the Droid Protocol on my brush, so I've kind of made a custom shade there. My brow bone, I'm going to use Precious Cargo. This is going to probably be blinding, but we're going to try it. The tippy toppy of my brow bone, just putting that there. Yeah, I think that's added something. I think for my lower lash line, this inner part of my inner corner, I'm going to go in with the Sipping Soup shade. This brush I use for the inner corner is an inner corner brush. It's E46 by Sigma. One of my favourite kind of specific purpose brushes that they do. I think it's really, really good. That's laying down pretty good because I've not got any glitter primer or I've not wet the brush or anything, and it's laying down nicely. Just close to my lash line, I want to use Droid Protocol just to amp things up a bit, just on my lower lash. Just going to use a smudge brush, E20. Just get a little bit more definition going with that brown shade. Put something in my waterline now. Got two potential options, I think, because I'm loving these Lethal Cosmetics liners, the Side Effects gel liners. So we've either got Equalize, the green, or Stereo, the yellow. I think I might just stick with the green actually. The easiest way to apply these is with a flat brush. You do have to be slightly careful that you don't paint your contact lenses while you're doing it. But look how vivid that green is in the waterline. These are amazing. I'm not going to do a wing today, who am I? I'm just going to go straight in with mascara, BadGalBang by Benefit, and call it a day, I think. I just want to let the shadows do the talking. It's so pretty how these have laid down. I can see this becoming a kind of go-to palette. It's neutral but green in a way. Very easy to wear. And I enjoy neutral shadows and I enjoy colourful shadows, and green eyeshadow is one of my favourites, so I think this was such a good release. For lips today, I'm going to go in with Chrome Olive from Anastasia. It was from their holiday collection of 2019. I don't seem to be doing that this year. They used to bring out 10 lipsticks and such a great value. They're normally about £80 for 10 and always got them, but this year they're not doing it. A very boring holiday release this year, I think, with the Glam 2 palette, which is really nice, like a baby version of their Glam palette, and nothing exciting there. Yeah, nothing really grabbing me from them this year. But that's the lipstick. It's got a sort of C3PO vibe to it, I think. Okay, and that's today's finished look. So I hope you enjoyed hanging out with me and seeing me create it. And I hope you're excited for the plans I've got for my channel. As I say, I can't sustain buying all of the new releases anymore, and I really don't want to try. So I just need a break from makeup, or purchasing makeup at least. I'm still excited to see all the new releases. Doesn't mean I need to own them all. And I think for most things, they're not that limited edition that you couldn't pick them up at a later time. So I think for at least, as I say, and I'm not going to start it until 2021. I'm going to start in January, a complete no buy, probably to the end of October, so like 10 months of complete no buy. And yeah, I'm really excited to do it. I think it's needed. I think I've fallen into the hype of watching so much YouTube that I feel like I need to own everything, and then becoming a YouTuber because I've been excited about makeup, and then feeling the pressure to buy everything, because the only way, and this is complete truth for anyone out there, the only way to really grow a YouTube channel is to show all the new makeup. It's the truth. If you try to do a tutorial with older products, it won't get watched. If you do makeup challenges, you'll get views, but from your hardcore kind of audience. But I've kind of decided that that's not my main focus for my channel anyway, so why was I kind of even embroiling myself in that as such? So I hope you're still going to stick with me, and as I say, I'll just carry on doing my Debbie looks that I've always done on my channel. Nothing's really going to change, apart from I'm not going to be showing anything particularly new. It's all going to be the things I bought this year. But as I say, I'm looking to pick up the Melt Cosmetics launch. I'm going to pick up the Jeffree Star Blood Money palette. Controversial, I know, but I love green eyeshadow, and I love his Blood Sugar palette so much. So if he's done green in the same way as that, then I know I'm going to love it, and I don't want to miss out on it because it might be unpopular on my channel, and I am going to show it. So, you know, you can always skip that video if you don't want to watch it, but they're the two things that I'm excited for, and I need to buy the things that I'm excited to own and that I want to use. And if I don't create a video with them straight away or ever, that shouldn't really matter as a consumer of makeup, because that's what I am first and foremost, a collector and a user of makeup, and not somebody that's here to be an infomercial for makeup to try and make you buy it, because that's really not what I'm all about. So as I say, long and rambly, but hope you're still supporting me on that, and really excited for next year and seeing if I can stick to it, because I'm not the best at sticking to things when I decide to do them. I am kind of an all or nothing person, so I think doing a complete no buy will be easier than a sort of low buy. So definitely a period of time where I completely abstain from makeup is going to be good for my bank balance, but also good, I think, for me, for my creativity with the makeup that I do have. And I'm so excited to dip into some of these things that have sat in my drawer and never been used. So yeah, that's what the new year's going to have. As I say, lots of festive stuff coming up as well. I love Christmas. So in December, I'm hoping to upload a video at least once every other day. I've got some time off at the end of November. I want to try and pre-film so that I can achieve that. And then I've got from the 18th of December to the end of the year off annual leave as well. So I think I probably can achieve it this year and give you a video every other day. So lots of festive content as well. But thank you so much for watching this video, and if you're new here, love it if you consider subscribing before you go. Take care of yourselves, guys, and hopefully catch you in the next one. Bye guys.